Hello stamping friends, it's Christine Vicenti at Queen City Stamp Art back today to share another handmade card. Today's focus is on a color combination of Pool Party, Calypso Coral, and Pear Pizzaz. We actually aren't going to be using any Pool Party ink, so I'll put that away. But I did use Pool Party as the base card for this card. So I thought it would be fun to showcase this color combination. It is a really fun, summery combination of color, I think. It's one of my favorites. And I also wanted to show you a fun way to use ribbon to create an embellishment. So let's get started. Today I'm using the stamp set called Inspiring Iris by Stampin' Up. This is a photopolymer stamp set, so you'll see that I do have my Stampin' Pierce mat back because it creates that nice cushion for stamping on. We're also going to use a couple of squares from the layering square framelit dies. So I have everything ready to go. This is my base card, which I've cut to 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5 by 5.5 and folded it in half to create a base card that measures 4.25 by 5.5. So basically it's a half a sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So that's the base card, and then the other little layers are just the scalloped square mat and then the little white panel for the stamping. So let's get our stamping done first. We're going to start with Memento Black, and we're going to stamp the outline of, we're going to start with the sentiment, because I like to start with the sentiments first on a little panel like this, just to make sure that they fit in perfectly and that I haven't crowded them out with the flowers or the other images. So we're going to use the black outline to stamp the images first, and then we're going to fill them in with some of the stamps, some of the fill-in stamps, the fill-in images. This is such a fun set. You can do all different color combinations and create a whole different look for each card. So this is the green portion. So I just try to line this up over top of the black. It's usually not too hard because you can kind of see through the photopolymer. But even if it's offset a little bit, this type of stamp set lends itself well to that because it's it has an artsy look anyway. And then the Calypso Coral, which is my favorite orange right now, for the flowers. Oh, I love that. That looks great. So this is the stamped panel, and we're going to layer this on top of this. But first I thought it would be fun to use some different ribbons to create kind of a stepped up embellishment. So what I did was I took some of the burlap ribbon. Now this ribbon is fun because it's really useful. You can trim, you can like cut the different strands of this and pull it so that you have strands of burlap twine. Or you can use it whole, or you can use it half, whatever. But I'm going to use the whole piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of measure this by wrapping it around to make sure I have enough, and then trim it off. And then I'm going to take a glue dot to hold it into place. These little guys are sticky, so I'm going to lift it up with my scissor here and place that in the middle. And then this is going to help me to anchor my ribbon where I want it. So I'm just going to anchor it here like that. Then I'm going to take the white baker's twine from Stampin' Up. All these supplies are Stampin' Up, of course. And I'm going to tie it around the burlap, like that, and bunch it a little bit. And then I'm just going to hold my finger on it while I tie the bow. Like this. And then I'm just going to kind of fuss with the bow a little bit to make it the right size. And then I'm just going to trim off the ends, like this. Okay, it moved around a little bit, but that's okay. It'll basically stay in place once I have stamped panel on top of it. So now what I'm going to do is add some dimensional adhesive to the back of this, but I want to create a little channel for that ribbon to lay under. This helps to pop up the stamped panel so that it doesn't get all warped in the mail. It keeps it kind of flat because it gives the ribbon, the burlap ribbon, a little bit of room underneath to lay in the right spot without anything being on top of it. So we're just going to line this up here like this. And then this burlap is laying in the channel that doesn't have any adhesive. And now you have the little finished piece. So now we can glue this to the base card with our regular glue. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim the ends of these and make them a little smaller so they fit a little bit better on the card front. Like this. Yeah, that looks good. So now I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back. Maybe I'll put a little on here too. And lay this on the front of the card. There we go, just like that. So this is the card for today. Again, the focus was on the color scheme of Pool Party Calypso Coral and Pear Pizzaz. And I used the stamp set Inspiring Iris from Stampin' Up! Thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions, just leave me a note in the comments. I love your feedback and appreciate it anytime you leave a comment. So thanks a lot.